Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you what I think should be a quick one, but who knows depending on how heated I get. Probably shouldn't be, but I was looking over the new data sheets that came out with the community update, and then I started looking at our Norns. The Norn Assimilator and the Norn Emissary. And there's one rule that we haven't used damn near the entire edition. It is select one enemy unit and singular purpose. Until the end of the battle, each time this model makes an attack that targets that unit, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll. So, simple enough, right? Why have we never picked it? Because it's not good enough for 275 points. Which also begs the question of why on earth are we spending that much to do a Norn thing anyway? And the Norn Assimilator also still, for whatever reason, is the more expensive of the two. We still can't figure that one out. But yeah, that's kind of where we are on that one. Um, but what's the rule, the data sheet that led me to think about? Damn, that's kind of ass. So the Celestian Incendiants, let's go with it, have Denuncia Oratory, in which each time the bearer's unit's quarry is destroyed, you can select a new unit from your opponent's army to be its quarry. What about its quarry, would you ask? Well, they have Virtue of Intolerance. At the start of the battle, select one unit from your opponent's army to be this unit's quarry. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets its quarry, that attack has precision, and you can reroll the hit roll. So a couple of things here. Um, it's fine to just get reroll hits and reroll wounds into a designated unit. That's fine enough. And the Norn Assimilator is lacking further because, well, it is 275 points with no invuln. So, making it the stand on the objective marker defensive option that the Norn Emissary isn't necessarily as possible. Now, however, it is a harvester. And as we know, in Assimilation Swarm, harvesters are better. So, Norn Assimilator is able to regenerate if it lives, and it is able to get a Feel No Pain of a 4 up for 2 command points, standing on objective, 5 if not, right? Um, so it has access to a Feel No Pain in the likes that the Norn Emissary has against mortal wounds. And, well, outside of that, you're just putting your Norn on an objective marker to get the 5 of Feel No Pain base overall, and OC 15. So we've long wondered why the Norn Assimilator is quote unquote seen as better. Like, yeah, it has higher damage potential in melee, right? But the Norn Emissary at least has like some shooting that can target an array of targets. The Norn Assimilator, it's like, hey, I want to target the big things, and I cannot lie. Um, Now, the Tox Injector Harpoon for ranged is strength 12, so, you know, some things 4, some things 3. Well, a lot, right? You're not shooting these 2 shots into. Hopefully, you're not wasting 2 shots into take something down that you would be rolling 2s on, unless you got +1 wound from being an Assimilation Swarm, probably. Or maybe, hell, you managed to battle shock something around a Neurolictor, right? Either way, I wouldn't use these 2 shots to pick up 2 tiny Space Marine models. That's all I say. All I'm trying to say on that one. But then I thought about it that this whole ordeal with, wow, we can't really reselect our quarry, but yet Celestian Ascendians can. I was like, wait, that's not new. I just never really thought about it because Shalaxi has that option. Monarch of the Hunt. At the start of the first battle round, select one enemy unit to be this model's quarry. Each time this model makes a melee attack that targets its quarry, reroll the hit, and reroll the wound. Each time this model's quarry is destroyed, select one new enemy unit to be this model's quarry. 340 points, just significantly better though. Range, 14 inches of movement, deep strike, fucking T10, worse than us on that one. 3 up save, 4 up invul, 20 wounds though. So, coming back to the Norn Assimilator and focusing more so on this one because I would highly suggest that you don't use your Norn Emissary to be the, go kill one person. But there is the thing about how the Norn should be tailored one way or another. We've always, or the Norn Assimilator is supposed to be the offensive option. They both just so happen to have singular purpose because the Norn Assimilator does have the flexibility in Assimilation Swarm to be the emissary, I guess to say, which you can stand somewhere, take some shots, and heal back. So it can get pretty kooky on that front. But they do have this little bit of flavor text too, right? Which they could have, in my opinion, all rolled over here. So you have harpooned, harpooned, and harpoon barbs. Harpoon barbs is the unnatural resilience equivalent for the assimilator. Once per turn, when an enemy unit within engagement range of this model is selected to fall back, roll 1d6 on a 2-up. That unit suffers d6 mortal wounds. I've never had that trigger because nobody's falling back from a Norn Assimilator enough to care, right? I've just never had that happen. So maybe one of you all is like, no, it's coming clutch. I just killed it with the mortal wounds. It was pretty nice. But your opponent hearing that usually isn't going to take the d6 mortal wounds because it's on a 2-up. So it's a bit there, a bit contrived, if you will. But I feel all of this can just go over here. Harpoon to give them +2 to charge going into a monster and vehicle, and if they try to fall back, roll a 2-up, d6 mortal wounds. That said, though, I think that if the Norn Assimilator is going to be the more aggressive option that's getting into the mix, I think that it should get the same update and love as Shalaxi and the Celestian Incendiants, where, hey, this might make sense why it's 15 points more expensive, but not really. Make it so that you can re-roll if you chose singular purpose to select an enemy unit, re-roll. Now, mind you, I'd say that it should be here, but for whatever reason, they made it a warrior ability here instead of just putting it with Virtue of Intolerance. I can be okay with that being the reasoning here, where it's like, all right, instead of unnatural resilience, unnatural aggression. If the selected enemy unit dies, whatever, I honestly just rewrite this portion to do the same quarry situation. So select one enemy unit as quarry each until the end of the battle. Da 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 da. Unnatural aggression. If you select it to have quarry, if the quarry dies, you can select a new unit to reroll the hit rolls and reroll the wound rolls into, right? Basically. But I'll be honest, I don't think that's enough because they tend to have a bonus further. Like the rerolls are nice and the rerolls are nice, right? Um, but Shalaxi also has the fact that you can reroll advance and charge rolls. So that's awesome there, but look at the selection of weaponry here. Celestian Incendiants, Feel No Pain, Psychic Mortals, whatever. Precision is also in there, but look at the Dev Wounds, Anti-Psyker, Melta on some pistols. It's not like none of this is breaking down the bank, but sisters also are known for having turbo rules, I guess. Well, to make up for the fact that they're like a T3 unit. So the Norn Assimilator, I don't. I can say this in most confidence, right? That if you were to just make it so that the assimilator is able to reselect quarry, I don't think that that would break it. And actually, I should have pulled this up too, thinking about it. Let's duplicate this tab really quickly here. And oh, right, duh, I could have just scrolled down. I forgot that we can do it there. Where are you? Where are you? Synaptic assimilation. Here we go. Rapacious hunger. I was going to pull up the other tab, that's why I did this. But Rapacious Hunger, your fight phase. When Tyranid unit from your army that just destroyed an enemy unit, your unit immediately regenerates. When doing so, if your unit is a Harvester unit and you choose for one model to regain up to D3 lost wounds, that model regains up to 3 lost wounds instead. It would be nice if there was some more synergy here. Now, you could give an Assimilator crits on 5 lethal hits. I don't think you waste your time doing that. It's only 10 attacks. But it would be nice if there was more synergy here, you know, a little bit more, into which if you are taking a Norn Assimilator and an Assimilation Swarm list, it can choose some quarry to get reroll hits, reroll wounds into, kill that unit, get Rapacious Hunger, regenerate 3 lost wounds, and do this shit again. And then I'd be like, okay, I can see why the Norn Assimilator uh, did what it did, right? Like I still don't think it's 15 points more than the Norn Emissary because I'm doing that at the expense of a command point and no invuln still. But I think if you were to take that direction, just giving it new quarry would be nice, and then the Norn Assimilator might see some more play overall. And GW, if it sees more play, you make more money. So, just to say, this is a buff that seems to be missing off of the Norns. I kept this Norn Assimilator focus because it's supposed to be the aggressive option, while the Emissary should be taking this number 2 option, right? But the Norn Assimilator does have the flexibility in Assimilation Swarm to take this option. Um, Whereas the Emissary, I don't think in anything would be trying to take this option. So I guess for that argument, I can see it. But that does come with, hey GW, give the Norn Assimilator the same select new quarry that the others have. So yeah, if you liked the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.